We're inside a space that very few people get to see. We're 90 feet above Epcot, and a catwalk that runs all the way around Spaceship Earth, right behind the iconic reflective panels. The lighting design on Spaceship Earth has been the same since it opened in October of 1982.
The central figure of Epcot, Walt Disney's celebration of the future, was due for an update.
We didn't want to impact the iconic structure during the day. And what we realized after many hours of studying it is that at the intersection between the panels, there was this little opening where we could create this new expression that looked like it had always been there. Each one of these cables connects a single light fixture to one of the electronic components inside. There's over 60 miles of this cable in total.
Launching the points of light on Spaceship Earth is just one of the innovations happening all across Epcot. The park, designed to celebrate our world and give us a glimpse into tomorrow, is taking a giant leap into a new future.
We have changes before, but never on the scale of what we've done right now.
How do you reinvent the center of a working theme park while it's still operating?
A universe of different worlds, countless moving parts. It's like rebuilding a rocket ship while you're flying to the moon.
You really got to get it right the first time.
Fire.
The fact that this is going to be a huge production, I'm going to have to bring it.
I absolutely feel an adrenaline rush for our show.
Hundreds of creators come together to illuminate Walt's original promise.
Epcot will always be in a state of becoming.
Steady, are you ready? Can you feel it? Here it comes.
I was fortunate enough to be at the opening of Epcot Center, as we called it back then. It was Walt's last and greatest dream. We had never done anything other than castle parks. Now, Epcot was not a park that was about magic. It was a park about the real world and the wonders of the real world. I was hired by Marty Sklar as a writer, and that was almost 45 years ago. Marty Sklar was hired by Walt Disney before Disneyland opened. Over the years, he learned how to take Walt's visions and put them into words.
In 1966, Marty co-wrote a film for Walt, where he would introduce what was then known as the Florida Project.
A project so vast, it has already been called a whole new Disney World. And now, here is Walt Disney.
Welcome to a little bit of Florida here in California.
He knew he had to explain to Florida and to the world what his plans were for Walt Disney World.
Now that's 12 miles from here up to here, and the whole area encompasses 27,400 acres.
That plot of land was twice the size of Manhattan, and proposed at its center was Epcot.
Spelled E-P-C-O-T. Experimental, prototype, community of tomorrow.
Walt talked about Epcot always being in a state of becoming, that we will always continue to look for ways to keep challenging the way we think about things.
Sadly, Walt Disney never lived to see Epcot come to life. But his vision for that was so strong that the Imagineers continued on with that vision.
Disney called his park designers Imagineers. One of the most influential was Marty Sklar.
His job was to say, how do I translate that into something that we can build, that we can move forward with? Marty was a bit of a hoarder. He saved everything.
Marty held on to more than 1,000 boxes worth of Imagineering history. From sketches, to brochures, to handwritten notes.
These are early days of Epcot, trying to figure out how do you translate it to a showcase for the public of optimistic ideas for the future.
It took the Imagineers 6 years to design and build Epcot. At the time, it was one of the largest construction projects in the world.
Walt Disney's 20-year-old dream became a reality today.
Opening day, October 1st, 1982, was international news.
Now comes Epcot.
Its futuristic pavilions display the neon and laser technology of tomorrow.
The park was hailed as a permanent World's Fair, celebrating global culture and a thrilling vision of the future. Over the years, new attractions were added. But Walt's desire for Epcot to be in a constant state of becoming kept the Imagineers continuously reimagining the future.
Because it is a real-world park, there are some of the shows that, frankly, became outdated.
So, in 2016, Imagineers put their heads together once again to propel Epcot to its next stage of becoming. They'd reinvigorate the existing World Showcase and reimagine Future World to create 3 new neighborhoods. World Discovery for technology and ingenuity. World Nature for the wonders of our planet. And World Celebration for community. And throughout the park, new attractions and dramatic storytelling bring it all to life. Under the cover of night, in secret, Disney Live Entertainment works to reinvent an Epcot tradition, the Nighttime Spectacular.
3, 2, 1, fire.
We are here at the World Showcase Lagoon at the center of Epcot. And our show, Luminous, The Symphony of Us, will be presented here nightly.
Fire.
The story is that Walt Disney actually used to refer to the fireworks shows at Disneyland as the Kiss Goodnight, because it was that final moment that the guests got to experience before they left the park for the evening.
Music, lasers, and fireworks have illuminated the lagoon since shortly after the park opened. And it's up to this team to transform this spectacle in time for Walt Disney's birthday on December 5th.
Luminous, The Symphony of Us, at its core, is really a show about the human connection. That no matter where you live on this earth, there are things that we all experience that make us more alike than different.
Love, family, friendship, and loss. For this show, it's the storyteller's job to fill the sky with those emotions.
There's really kind of a handful of tricks to use in a nighttime show. Most of it's light. If we can light it up, we will use it in the show. We also have lasers. We also have moving fountains. And the pyrotechnics, they're the biggest piece of our arsenal. By using texture and color and light, we're going to then pull you into this world and then let you dream within it.
Fire.
We want to shoot it to see what it looks like and how it will respond, see what the wind does with it. They also will check colors to see if they like those colors against the backdrops.
Yeah.
The angle.
We need to angle it down.
Can't really tell that's a heart from here.
Off every location we have, in 3, 2, 1, fire.
The final trick in the bag is music. The score for Luminous, The Symphony of Us, is the latest in a long line of emotional Disney musical themes. And at its heart is the new Epcot anthem. Both the anthem and arrangements for the spectacular are composed by Pinar Toprak. The Epcot anthem was commissioned as part of the transformation to be the soundtrack that defines the Epcot experience.
It was really more of the feeling of Epcot and an entire suite that reflected that emotion, and it took you through a journey.
A journey through the newly transformed Epcot. And Pinar's task was to create a sense of adventure, curiosity, and fun.
It was this beautiful thing that just bowled me over. And I thought, what if I could get Pinar in and have her take even the Disney music and put it into that same kind of vernacular that only she can do.
Music is one of the many pieces of the puzzle that must come together for the Kiss Goodnight.
Field control roll code, Luminous go.
To hit its mark.
The Epcot transformation is one where all eyes are on us. We're just as excited to get these walls down as the people who are standing on the other side.
As part of the multi-year transformation of Epcot, each neighborhood is being reimagined from the moment guests enter the park, beginning with World Celebration.
Thinking about how people walk in to the arrival sequence under the turnstile up in Spaceship Earth, there were a lot of things that were in the way for people to start to engage with their experience.
The goals were to make the entrance more inviting, bring back nature, open up outdoor gathering spaces, and revitalize existing architecture and experiences like the new Connections Eatery.
By replacing the walls with glass, we're blurring the line between interior and exterior space. We're letting the energy of the storytelling about really wonderful foodways and food culture and Connections Cafe be visible from the walkway here at World Celebration.
A neighborhood over at World Discovery, Imagineers have re-envisioned a classic attraction that's out of this galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is our first roller coaster attraction at Epcot. We knew from the beginning that this attraction was going to be the anchor to our World Discovery neighborhood that we were developing as part of the overall transformation of Epcot. And so it was very important for it to take the experience above and beyond that. As we come in,
the plan included installing Disney's first reverse launch coaster, where ride cars blast off backwards and give guests the experience of flying through space, just the way the characters did in the movie. But to house the Cosmic Rewind, they needed to build a massive concrete foundation capable of holding a 5.5 million pound roller coaster.
It meant that we had to determine very early in the process where we intended to place anything that was going to be set into the slab.
We had over 200 anchor bolt cages that had to be cast into the concrete to which our ride columns would mount. Each of those had to be located within a 5mm radius of tolerance. So very tight, we're talking 1/4 inch or so. Being outside of that can be a really big issue when we go to put the track together. We really got to get it right the first time.
Cosmic Rewind is just the kind of Imagineering challenge Walt would have dreamed of. And speaking of Walt,
Welcome to Dreamers Point. This is one of the areas I am truly the most excited about because it's our new installation of a Walt statue that is unlike any of our others.
Walt the Dreamer will be one in a series of sculptures displayed at Disney parks around the world that tell the story of Walt's career. Storytellers shows a young Walt arriving in California for the first time. Partners depicts an older Walt, showing Mickey all they've created.
This one we decided would be about Walt when he was dreaming of Epcot, when he was about 60 and later in life. Then I had to find every wrinkle on Walt's face, the way he combed his hair. every detail that says this is Walt. Walt's actual height was 5 feet 10.5 inches. But if we were to sculpt him at exactly that size, he would appear small. We actually sculpted him at about 6'1", 6'2". He is a little bit larger than life, which describes Walt perfectly.
What we're celebrating is the idea that he had this grand vision for Epcot where people could come and have their imagination sparked.
A place where all guests will be able to dream with Walt when the statue is in place and the space opens, hopefully in time for Walt's birthday on December 5th. With musical arrangements in hand and their December deadline looming, recording for Luminous The Symphony of Us begins in studios all over the world. First stop, Glasgow, Scotland.
For a score of this level of epicness, we're using a gigantic orchestra, so there's 85 musicians.
They're incredible sight readers. Nobody rehearses anything ahead of time.
We're recording it over a period of 2 days, but we've separated all of the major groups of the orchestras. We've started with the strings, then we moved on to the woodwind section, and then the brass section, and then the percussion section. But they all essentially are doing this in 3 to 4 hours, so we're moving at light speed throughout the 2-day process.
In New York City, Shalea Melody McDonald is one of the many creators contributing to the vocal tracks. Shalea is the singer and co-writer of the song that will open the show.
You are a part of me, and I am a part of you.
This song is such a reminder that we can all be connected through joy, and we can be connected through music. And there's so many ways to make us feel like we have this one heartbeat.
So go ahead and sing your song. That's when you can really say, go ahead. Okay.
Shalea also performs in the grand finale.
The choices that I make vocally have to be as grand as this show is going to be.
She'll have to be soulful and emotional, while still shining as bright as the fireworks that will light up the sky.
When I'm in the studio, I'm going to have to bring it.
Great. It's gorgeous.
When we started work on the transformation of Epcot, one of the things we wanted to look at was how do we update the story? How do we broaden the story?
World Showcase, with its 11 pavilions featuring countries from across the globe, is one of the places they decided to start answering those questions.
World Showcase is a celebration of music, of culture, of art, of history, and so why not the art of storytelling?
Designers once again went back to Walt Disney for inspiration. In 1918, post-war France, a teenaged Walt served in the Red Cross Ambulance Corps. There, he was enchanted by French art and architecture, starting a lifelong appreciation that influenced Disney designs for decades to come. Those years of French influence culminated with a singular four-legged movie star who became an expert in hot cuisine.
Paris? All this time, I've been underneath Paris?
When we look at films, we look at them in a different way as Imagineers. We're looking at them as, is there an attraction in here? The sequence in the film Ratatouille, where Remy falls through the window and winds up in the busy kitchen space. And watching that the first time, it's like, that's a ride.
Tom Fitzgerald called and said, I have an idea. I think that we can make an extraordinary attraction inspired by Ratatouille.
He's ruining the soup!
The trickiest thing would be to create a virtual environment that felt as visceral as the moments in the film.
We gotta tell someone that he's not...
We knew foundationally we wanted to fall off that skylight, plunge to the floor of Gusteau's kitchen. Started blocking out the camera movement for the scene. We're really trying to work out what is all the action that we're going to bring to life. 3D animation, it's a long process. A really talented animator in a week might create 3 or 5 seconds of animation. So we have to really go into this not improvisationally.
Animators added details like clothing, fur, and lighting to create a fully developed scene. Now, how do you give people the thrill of being a character in the movie?
I want you to feel like you're Remy in that kitchen. How do I do that? This is a ride that uses what we call moving eye point, which means I'm moving you through a physical environment, and the media that I'm projecting is changing its perspective with your vehicle movement. It's a really complex trick. And that ultimately led us to saying, I need a ride vehicle that is free range, that's not on a track.
Now suddenly you can really be like a rat and scurry and slide around and never know where you're going to go next.
Do I spin? Do I back up? Do I go forward? Do I shake? Do I tilt? And where are the other vehicles? Because you're traveling in a pack of 3. So it's a very sophisticated system.
The Imagineers seamlessly put us into Remy's world. Now, they're almost ready to launch us into another galaxy at World Discovery. The housing for the new Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind coaster is complete. Imagineers turned their attention to developing a first-of-its-kind ride system, the high-speed Omni Coaster.
The Omni Coaster system that we developed for this attraction was really a unique new tool in our tool belt. We could rotate the vehicles in any direction at any given point along the way, which enabled us to tell stories on a roller coaster in a way that we never could before.
The ride car rotation is powered by what's called a yaw system.
Yaw is a technical term that we use to describe that rotation motion about the z-axis. Pitch and roll, which is either moving front and back or side to side. Yaw is what we have on our coaches rotating individually throughout the ride.
This is not teacups in space. We're not going to be just spinning around. It was really a deliberate rotation to put you into the action.
We have scenes on our ride that stretch out over the course of, in one case, even 13 seconds, which is really kind of unheard of in roller coaster terms.
The Omni Coaster technology is truly immersive, all to serve their top priority, keeping us captivated with the Guardians story. To make sure that happened, the team needed to try and experience the ride before they built it.
We partnered with our ride manufacturer and created a test track at their facility. A small town, kind of amidst some cornfields.
We had a chance to go and experience that a couple of years before we were going to be able to ride the real vehicle on the real track here at our site.
The track can be smooth all day, but if you're experiencing high vibrations because of the yaw system, then that wouldn't be a good experience for our guests.
With the complex movements working, the team had a real engineering puzzle. How to move nearly a mile of track into a confined space. It was the world's most difficult game of Tetris.
It got to a point where we just had 10,000-pound pieces of track that are 30 feet long with no foreseeable way of how to install them.
The clock was ticking, and there weren't a lot of options.
We repurposed 2 coaches from the test track and used them as a mule of sorts to load in new track, kind of railroad style.
It was an ingenious solution.
You spend so much time working on something, thinking about millimeters, tolerances, and surface finishes to come out the other side of this machine that you've made is just joy.
From space at World Discovery, back to Earth at World Nature. The Imagineers wanted to take us on a journey where water conservation could be fun. So to create this experience, they looked for inspiration in the magical movie world of Moana.
Guests have a great connection with Moana, and she has a great connection with water. So with all of those ideas, we used that film to tell our story.
This is Epcot. This is a real place. And when we come here, we want you to learn while having fun.
Could the Imagineers design an experience where people can play with water just like Moana does? The team set out to develop a system that sensed motion to trigger the water's reaction.
The water had to feel alive. It's really easy for things to feel binary, that like you hit a button and it goes, and it's on, it's off, and we couldn't have that. Even a millisecond counted.
The first round of testing didn't work for everyone.
Why are really tall people or small children having a harder time? We were trying to find that happy balance that all people could be seen and interact. People wave all different ways. They wave up high, they wave low. We have what we call our baby wave. And we have watched thousands of people and they all do it differently.
The technology was trained to recognize all those movements. So, no matter the wave, everyone could join in the fun. Imagineers succeeded in transforming water into an Epcot experience. But now, can they transform the night sky? At Disney Live Entertainment, the creative team is hard at work on the Nighttime Spectacular.
We're at that point where it's so important for us all to be together and to really work together that way.
Working with virtual software that simulates the show, the creative team is able to imagine exactly what they want.
VPE basically stands for Virtual Programming Environment. It's where we take all the devices that we're using, put them into a computer setting that does CGI, and will replicate the show as close as it can get, probably within 95% of what you'll actually see out in the facility itself.
It's a powerful design tool that allows the team to keep shaping the effects before going into the field.
Here's a thought for you right there. Do we keep it, because right now it's like, we have a lot of, do we simplify it? You are part of me, I'm a part of you. It's like I said, like just do one and hold it, do another one.
I feel like it should be opening out, but right now I'm coming in, I'm going steady, are you ready? And I feel like it should be steady, are you ready? Can you feel it? Like.
Yeah, it's gonna take us another 2 hours to revamp this, but it will be better overall to do it. And it's warm and real and bright. And the world has somehow, those aren't going there.
We have recently been given a version of the music for the show, so this is more of playtime for us.
Layover.
And then
all
together
yeah, so
to
1,
that
2,
pretty
3,
look.
and 4 is together, yeah.
Okay.
I never sleep. Basically, I'm always thinking about, can we do that one better?
With its new design, the icon of the park, Spaceship Earth, is another character in the show.
He's ready.
So we just have kind of a remote connection to get us inside. Then once the data's inside, it travels through wire connections to all the lights.
The sphere's nearly 2,000 points will sparkle as part of the spectacular. And at other times of the night, are programmed to fit the theme of Epcot's 3 new neighborhoods.
All right. Put us in ambient too.
Yes. Let's name that Ambient Link 1 World Discovery. And then 2 will be World Nature.
You can see Spaceship Earth from as close as 13 feet away, but you can also see it from the back of the park, which is a couple football fields away. It needs to look great from any of those different viewing locations.
Back at World Nature, Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, is close to opening day. And Te Fiti, goddess with the power to create life, has settled into her new home. Her presence is meant to inspire guests to be stewards of the water.
Te Fiti really started as a concept sketch. We knew we wanted her as a large element. We started with a sculpted model to really refine that pose and her personality. For a short while, we did truly investigate her being made of live material, knowing how we wanted to really control deeply her essence and her physicality from the film to the site. We decided to go into a themed route.
Themed foliage is made of urethane and stainless steel, perfect for creating a powerful presence. With Te Fiti in place and water features operational, World Nature's transformation cycle is complete.
One, two, three, and...
Back with the team at the Disney Live Entertainment Music Studio in Florida. A local choir is adding emotional textures to the score of Luminous, the Symphony of Us. Their voices are present for much of the show. And there's a lot of work to do.
The choir is bringing a beautiful fullness to the theme song, particularly as we transition into the big back-end finale of the spectacular.
All that we are. Can I hear that? 1, 2, all that we are.
Our gospel sessions were just maybe the most fun that you could ever have in a session. And they were just full of joy and happiness.
Perfect.
When somebody loved me.
We have a beautiful arrangement of these two songs, When She Loved Me from Toy Story and Recuérdame or Remember Me from Coco.
So was I.
And it is just, it takes your breath away.
When somebody loved me. Everything was beautiful. Every hour spent together lives within my heart.
We wanted to make sure the audience feels connected when they hear these songs. The tune of You'll Be in My Heart immediately creates a certain connection and feeling. You don't have to have the entire song, but just that little bit is going to take you there.
Woo, girl!
Copy that. Show control, please roll code and audio.
Out on the lagoon, rehearsals for Luminous, the Symphony of Us are in full swing.
With the couple of days we have left, we're doing all the fine tuning, making sure all the timings are correct, making sure colors are right.
After months of virtual work, seeing the show live requires some adjustments.
I don't mind it, actually. It feels well.
When we get it out here, we get to see how that's translating. And we go from a flat environment into a full realized version. And one of the things we noticed was we wanted everything to be bigger. We wanted everything to be bolder.
We have over 1,400 pieces of pyro product in the show and over 1,300 cues.
1,300 moments to make perfect. And they only have 2 nights left.
Every time we make a change, there's more changes that come with it. It's kind of like a cascade. It's such an intense light, and that's what's great about it.
Would you add more even?
If you want to try it, we could literally double what's there.
You just have that flash.
That's nice.
We have 2 more nights to get it just perfect.
Across the water, the music team is experiencing their work outside and out loud.
Welcome to the Great Gathering.
On hundreds of speakers that all have to be perfectly balanced.
We basically have gotten to the point where we're bringing the recording studio out in the wild.
There's about 1,000 tracks in our session. The sheer organization of it alone is a beast.
Dan?
Yeah?
Which way is that one facing? This
Towards me. Anywhere that the show can be seen, the show needs to be heard equally as well. And we're covering over a mile worth of speakers around the lagoon, and they're facing in all different directions. There's water, there's buildings that throw all sorts of reflections everywhere.
I hear nothing.
It's not out?
I think this is coming
Oh
from
yeah, it's
that.
out. Rob, can we get pink noise?
They blast out pink noise, a type of test signal that's the best way to balance out the levels in all the speakers, both high and low frequencies that humans can hear.
This is pink noise. Ah, pink noise. So we're running left, and it's supposed to be going to right, and it's not there. So that is something we'll have to alert the maintenance team about and have them take a look. And hopefully you can get it sorted out by tomorrow night.
After years in the making, Epcot's latest transformation is almost complete and ready for showtime. At World Celebration, a special delivery has finally arrived at Dreamer's Point. Walt.
The process seems very slow at times because we've got to be careful with a very heavy object. It's a one-of-a-kind piece of artwork. It's a little bit of measure 3 times and swing once, and then lift and measure again and swing again.
So then he's done. I believe you've made it. I think so.
Walt's statue is installed just in time for his birthday, December 5th. And all around him, final touches ready World Celebration Gardens for their debut.
Let's let the guests in. Let's let them enjoy it, experience it, and see what they think.
And from his perch, Walt sees all.
I think the statue really does represent his hopes and his dreams of what Epcot was to become.
Day turns to night. And the new lighting design comes to life right on cue to usher in the big show.
Armor 1, you're clear to arm. Tonight is the premiere of Luminous, The Symphony of Us, and I can't be more excited.
We don't open these things all the time, and it's happening. It's happening tonight.
Are you excited?
Crazy excited.
Are you really? I am.
I'm seriously going to try not to cry tonight. I'm so excited. Lasers, how you looking? We're going all the way up to the wire. This is our first time doing our systems checks in real time. Show control roll code, Luminous, go.
Welcome to the Great Gathering.
Welcome.
We had welcomes from all around the world.
Bienvenue.
Marhaba.
Yokoso.
We had a last minute idea to put Walt in the show.
Welcome.
欢迎.
And we snuck him in there right at the end.
Welcome.
We knew it was perfect the second we heard it.
Can you hear the sound of a world in motion? The wind through the trees.
It's just the most incredible pinch me moment.
Can you feel the beat of a million hearts all in time?
There's nothing like getting to see your work come to life.
The team has worked for years to get to this moment, and we're so excited to welcome guests.
Come stop your crying, it'll be alright.
Walt talked about Epcot always being a state of becoming. I think we're living that.
Feeling part of something that's so much bigger than yourself, something so much more than any one of us could have done on our own, it's really powerful.
It's this wonderful dynamic always of what can we add and make it even better than it was. As long as there's imagination in the world, we're not done.
These parks are living things, and they need to be cared for and supported, and I just expect more great things to continue to happen here at Epcot.
I don't even think about this show as a fireworks show, but this gathering moment for all of us. And that's what Walt wanted the parks to be.
Steady, are you ready? Can you feel it? Here it comes. Oh, it's an all that we are.
Epcot is really Disney's celebration of the progress of ideas. We're already starting to think about what's next.
In the great symphony of us.
But where do we begin? How do we start answering this great challenge?